Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Ears, and we are gonna be pretty much going into a dissection, pretty much gonna be talking about, pretty much the show that every single person is talking about right now, 13 Reasons Why. Now, before I start talking about the show and getting into it, I just want to say that one, I did enjoy the show. I'm really critical on TV shows. Just to give a background story on myself, I personally do not watch a lot of TV shows. The last TV show I watched was The Walking Dead, and I guess if you consider that like a TV show, I guess it's like a drama or whatnot. I really don't like watching TV shows, especially like teen drama TV shows, and especially that this show is like kind of around like bullying and suicide. Now, actually, before I even speak about that, if you guys have not seen this show, this is going to be a huge spoiler alert. So if you guys have not seen the show, click out the video now, watch it, and then come back to this video. It'll make a lot more sense. I don't want to get anybody upset because I'm about to literally just go into the plot, dig in deep, bring out things that I think a lot of people are missing and not picking up the point. Because honestly, when you think about the show, it has a lot more to do with just bullying and suicide. So I just want to just get that in there. And so if you have not seen the show, go ahead and check it out. I highly recommend watching it. Even if you don't like TV shows, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of TV shows, especially teen dramas. But this one was actually really fucking good. So being all that is said, go check it out. And, we're going to go back on topic. Now, the one thing about the show that I feel that they did a good job on, probably even a too good of a job. And now this is going to sound extremely strange. Now, coming from a black person, this is going to sound really weird, but considering the fact that the whole show was pretty much based on its focal point on Hannah Baker, that's the main character in the show. Obviously, I'm not going to really go into character, dissection because we all watch the show, appearing if you're watching this video. So pretty much the whole show was focused on Hannah Baker and, her issues and how, the kids in the school were treating her. That pretty much led to her taking her own life. And the producers of the show, I know Selena Gomez was one of the producers of the show. And, this honestly, without me even, I didn't know that she was a producer of the show until after I watched the whole thing. And honestly, it really makes sense. This has her work written all over it. I'm not bashing her in any way, but I was thinking, I'm like, this has a Disney feel to it. It just really did. The show, so that's another thing about it that I kind of want to get into it. The show had a heavy Disney feel to it. I pretty much can predict what was going to happen next, as the episodes progressed on, which it's okay, but it was kind of predictable. But back on topic, one thing that they did a too good of a job on, I feel, and it kind of took away from, I guess, the high school experience. Now this is going to sound really strange, like I said, is they pretty much took away all of the race issues in the high school. Now, if you guys know about me, a little bit of backstory. I live in a primarily white neighborhood. I have black and white friends as well, as pretty much if anybody from any race or creed. When I went to high school, personally, I didn't experience any of these issues. Pretty much everybody was pretty much close-knit in my high school. Not really close-knit, but you guys understand that nobody really cared, or they were too chicken shit to say anything. So pretty much, if a black guy dated a white girl, nobody gave a fuck. In my high school. But, as we all know, that's not accurate in, pretty much every high school. And, obviously there was a little bit, of racial tension in my high school. Because, it happens in any high school. Anywhere, anyway. Because, that's just how people are. If you see someone with like a different race, with someone different, people are going to look. It's obvious. Personally, it's just how people are. You really can't get away from that. And one thing that the show did that I noticed, and I don't know if you guys have, but if you guys did, good on you, because I definitely think that this is something that is important, and I kind of personally feel that it took away from a little bit of the experience in the show. I think if they had a little bit of this, it would have been a lot more meaningful, but they took that completely out of the factor. They focused the entire show on pretty much only, I guess, teen bullying and, Hannah Baker, taking her own life. That I think they forgot to represent that there is an issue in high school, that there is race issues and stuff like that, biracial couples. Now I'm not trying to act like some black rights activist. I'm just keeping it 100% real here. And I feel that since they did take that out of the show, it kind of felt that it wasn't, as a genuine high school experience. And I feel that if they're gonna stereotype, kids as being terrible bullies toward their students and stuff or their classmates and peers and stuff like that, and how people just, take people for granted, you don't know what's going on in anybody's lives. I feel that it's kind of, hypocritical to take out, one of the major issues in American school systems, even more so than bullying and suicide, and that's kind of like, biracial couples and race issues. Now, this kind of sounds really, really terrible. I understand. It might sound that, you're just not, you're not you're desensitive. You obviously have some racial problem or something like that. Like I said, I live in a primarily white neighborhood. This shit does not matter to me. Honestly, I don't care. But personally, if you're going to have a high school TV show, or I guess a show about, how kids are terrible in high school, you kind of can't take away other factors of what goes on in high school and just focus it singling out on one person and one particular issue. I just feel that kind of desensitizes the show in itself, and it kind of takes away a lot of the credibility of the show, because throughout the show, pretty much what I've seen is black people dating white girls. Actually, I'll rephrase it because this is actually what happened in the show. Black girls dating white guys, white guys dating white girls. You have, two of the main characters hooking up. They're black and white. Actually, 4 of them, for that matter. Well, technically 6, thinking about it. So, I definitely think that if they had some type of, racial issue, it would have made the show a little bit genuine. I know this sounds really, really, really strange, but you just have to think about it, Just think about it 1 second. If they're really trying to portray a show on, the atrocities that happen in some high schools. Now, not all, some high schools. I think they should have added, that into it. Because that definitely is something that, happens in high school. People get bullied on it. People are killing themselves because of that reason alone. I definitely think that by them taking that out, they kind of desensitized the show, and they kind of made it kind of a fake environment, in my personal opinion. Now, say what you guys want. You guys can say what, voice your own opinions on the comment section. But I just feel that to better articulate what's, the message that they're being said, some of that probably should have been brought up, because it would have made the show a lot more meaningful. Now, think what you guys want, but that's personally my own experience and my own opinion on this. And I definitely think that probably should have been addressed. They just took it out. I understand why they took it out, because they wanted the whole show to be focused on pretty much bullying and suicide, but race is a huge issue on that. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a black rights activist, but I'm just being 100% real. You guys know how I am. 100% real all the time. And that definitely is something that happens in high school, and it should have been brought up in the show. Now, there's another thing. That's the first thing I want to talk about that they kind of took away. The second thing that I want to talk about that they completely took out of the show, well, not really completely, but they made kind of irrelevant in the show, is, from my understanding, from getting the whole gist of the show and the main characters, that there wasn't really a class system in the high school. Now, to better explain this, now, for my high school, at least, and pretty much every high school that I've ever heard of, you have, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, seniors. The seniors pretty much chill with themselves. They don't really talk to the freshmen. They don't talk to the sophomores. They might mess with a little bit of the juniors, but pretty much juniors and seniors talk to each other. Freshmen and sophomores talk to each other. Now, in this high school, in this situation, that wasn't the case. Pretty much everybody seemed to be pretty close-knit. They had, upperclassmen and lowerclassmen pretty much chilling, hanging out, going to parties, getting drunk, all that good stuff. They just doing their thing. Pretty much nobody really cared about any of that, which is kind of cool. So I guess they did a good job at getting rid of that in the movie. So, props to them on that. Props to the producers on, pretty much showing that people don't really care about age or whatnot. They also had the fact that pretty much, you have the stereotypical, the nerds, the stereotypical jocks. They didn't really get along, but in this situation, for the greater good, I guess they did. Even actually before this, I guess they did. Throughout the entire show, you guys saw that. I don't know if you guys saw that, picked up on it, but every time Hannah Baker would go to a party, or Clay would go to a party, pretty much everybody there knew each other, and that's rare as fuck. I mean, I've never seen that, not even in my high school, and we were kind of close knit. I went to a school with probably 1,000 people, and we were kind of close knit, and not everybody knew each other, but in this high school, literally every single person was like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" Everybody was chilling. All the, I guess the nerds, I don't like that word, but just for the sake of the, just trying to like have a conversation, the nerds and the jocks were chilling with each other. Pretty much the nobodies, everybody was invited pretty much. So I think that was kind of cool. They did a good job at getting rid of that. Like I said, probably even too good of a job, because to better articulate the story, because Hannah Baker was talking about how she felt lonely and whatnot, and how about Clay felt lonely, but yet again, they were at every single party. Kind of hypothetical, or kind of hypocritical. Yet again, it is still a good show. Those are two things that I want to talk about that pretty much in high schools that I've noticed, but they just completely just disregarded and took out of this show. It is pretty good. It's what it's. I understand why they did it. Like I said, they wanted us to focus everything on the suicide, and I definitely feel that they probably should have had a little bit of those issues in the show a little bit more. Let me know if I missed on anything, but this is pretty much like my first take, raw, impressions on the show. I definitely feel that they tried so hard to eliminate all the other factors of bullying besides, guy on girl, girl on guy, stuff like that, that they kind of made a non-genuine high school experience. And I feel that if they had a more genuine high school experience with a little bit more, racial tensions, a little bit more class, disruption, pretty much people, nerds fighting, jocks beating up nerds and stuff like that, I feel like that it would have been a more genuine and high school experience. Now, yet again, it sounds terrible, but being real, this in a real world society would not happen. I'm just saying it just wouldn't happen. People are just terrible. So that, unfortunately, this probably wouldn't happen. A lot of you guys go to high school. This probably does. That's the situation in this high school, and how everybody was kind of close knit. Nobody really had those type of issues. That's not really going to happen in a real world society. So those are two things that I want to get out of the way. Just to break down the show, those are two things that I felt that were really interesting, that I feel that people missed on, and I feel that kind of really sparked what I'm about to say next, and pretty much the focal point of this entire video. I feel like I had to get those 2 points out because those are pretty much at the top of my head. I really couldn't. I had to just talk that out. I really did. I wanted to just get all my thoughts out. Those are the two things that I felt that people missed in this show, that pretty much nobody was talking about, and I feel that somebody, sooner or later, had to address it, so, it had to be me. So back on, the focal point of the commentary, or the discussion at hand, and is pretty much, what if, what if it was a male, that was a victim, and no, I don't really, like, feminists, come get me, whatever, I don't care, rip up the video, do what you want, but just think about it, because nobody really has talked about it. What if Hannah Baker was a male and this was a completely flip-flop situation, and a male was getting bullied, a male ended up getting raped, and a male committed, took his own life because of the issues that were happening. Now, this is really interesting because, as you guys know, males in society are far from, females, are, it's rare that a female will come up forward and admit that she's been raped. It's like, I think it's like less than 2% chance that they'll do it. It's literally like less than a 1% chance that a male would even, come forward and say they got raped. Now, this kind of does raise an issue that I think someone sooner or later should make a movie about this, like a high school TV show about a male pretty much dealing with the issues of possibly being raped at a high school. I think that'd be really, really interesting, because I don't know if you guys have watched the credits of the show. Now, this kind of did irritate me, but a lot after watching the movie and pretty much getting, because there's like an hour pretty much after session of watching the last episode, after you guys figure out why Hannah Baker was pushed to the edge, and you pretty much watch all the tapes. They literally said, the focal point of the discussion at the end of, the discussion with the directors was pretty much focused on guys. Like, guys can say whatever they want to women. They don't have any checks. They need to watch what they're saying. They're pretty much pressing everything on guys, telling guys, watch what you say to girls. It really hurts them. But yet again, I feel that they really probably should have been addressing, people in general, kids in general should be watching what they were saying to women. Not even just to women, but watching to the saying, to their classmates in general, that this can happen, and, people, you never know what's going on with someone. Now, I feel that I understand the show had good intentions, but, after watching, the last, hour of, like, the directors talking, I kind of feel like they drifted off a topic, and they were just going, pretty much bashing, guys attacking girls, guys causing females to commit suicide, guys raping girls. This is all, a guy's problem. We have to be speaking to, men in general, because they're the root problem to all this. And I feel like the whole focus of the show probably should have been, on, high school students bullying other high school students and causing them to commit suicide, and pretty much having the show focusing on, explaining, how, what you say and what you do can really affect people, rather than, what guys say to girls, what guys do to girls that can really affect them and cause them to commit suicide. Now, I understand, having a girl commit suicide and having a girl being bullied is going to send a stronger message, to an audience, just because it's more common. But I definitely feel that, since they did have a fake environment for a high school throughout the entire, first season. Now, there's more seasons apparently that are coming out, but since they had kind of like artificial high school experience, that the show should have pretty much focused on pretty much bullying in general, rather just being a guy, pretty much guys and girls for that matter, because they do have, females on the tapes, but they never really did attack her personally, besides, Courtney. What she did, what Courtney did was fucked up throughout the show. That was fucked up. But for the most part, it was pretty much toward guys. And, she did, honestly, I think Courtney did probably one of the worst things next to the rape, because she pretty much broke her fucking soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, she broke everything. She threw her under the bus for her own good. Like, that's ridiculous, and for the directors to say, what guys say, they literally said what guys say, they need to watch what, men need to watch what they say, but yet again, Courtney did probably one of the worst things next to the rape. So I definitely think that, they kind of lost track themselves, and, by creating the artificial high school environment, that they kind of forgot themselves that, it's not just guys. It's people in general. People in general, do terrible things. And I feel that they probably should have addressed that throughout the movie more. Probably should have pressed that throughout the movie more. Because from my scene, like, the guy scenes were a lot longer than, Courtney's scenes. I definitely think that, they kind of lost track. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like they lost track. I don't know, man. Like, I just feel that someone probably should do a show, or like a TV show, on a male being, bullied throughout high school, committing suicide, possibly even being raped, because, it does happen to guys. It's rare. Guys aren't going to say it. Guys are not going to come forward, and admit that they got raped. A lot of them don't. But I definitely think that a good show to show, actual people being terrible would be that happening. It'd be a reverse society. Since they already had an artificial high school society, I definitely think that, having a, reverse society and a guy being raped would definitely show a great deal in the other side. A guy being bullied, to the potential to where he was going to take his own life. I definitely think that that'd be a good idea of a show. If if she was, you know, damn, like, if the main character was a male, you know, what if, you know, what would happen? You know, that's just a good discussion topic. I feel that it probably should happen. I just feel like that would be definitely something that people aren't talking about, because, you know, the director said it themselves, man. They just singled out guys during, like, their own, you know, interview that they included at the end. If you guys haven't watched that, because I know how you guys probably turned it off after, you know, episode 13 and didn't watch, like, the, you know, the extra scenes that they had, you know, the behind 13 reasons why. That's exactly what it's called. If you guys haven't seen that, check that out. This is pretty much where I'm getting this, like, the drive to make this video. I definitely think that it'd be a good idea for them to, you know, do that. And, you know, I just feel like people are missing out on that. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. I pretty much, you know, tackled, you know, two things. You know, the two artificial, the pretty much the focus was like the artificial high school, how I felt that it wasn't really a genuine representation of the high school, and pretty much, you know, what if, you know, the main character and the victim was a male. Now, attack me feminazis, I don't give a fuck. I wanted to talk about this on, you know, in a video. A lot of stuff I wanted to get off my chest. I did that. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to what you guys have to say. Like I said, this is my raw reaction, no edited to this shit. I just feel like it's better that, you know, these type of videos are raw, because, you know, an edited reaction is a fake reaction, in my opinion. Obviously, this isn't edited because I kind of like had to sit down and think about what I had to talk about. Hope you guys kind of like these reaction type videos, you know, this discussion type videos, because this is honestly like what I like to do. Aside from gaming, is, you know, dig deep into things, talk about things, and pretty much have a discussion with you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I'm honestly thinking about starting my own podcast for this shit, because it's honestly a lot of this stuff is happening. I'm excited for season 2. Like I said, 13 Reasons Why was a good show. I think it definitely was, you know, it is definitely worth the watch. 100%, 110% worth the watch. Check it out, boys. It's on Netflix, and catch you guys later. Peace.